November 2021. On Saturday, we been there where by the things them where we lay na table, we been get for talk about the European Union election follow-up mission, where we pay courtesy call to the President Julius Maada Bio, and also to the former President Koroma. I been read for we waiting status say. What status tell we say? The EU delegation be pay courtesy call on the President, and then be commend the government for the abolition of the death penalty. Now so status been tell we. Inside the report where status give, then tell we say recommendations then they where EU been give Salon. And then they expect Salon for follow the recommendations. Now so they report to we. They just say recommendations. If you remember Naya, I begin asking what's in the recommendations here? I begin asking what's in them people here sabi we make for the past few weeks. We don't they see then they go from President Bio, then come out there, then go to former Ernest Koroma. Then go from President Bio, then come out there, then go to former President Ernest Koroma. What's in the sabi we no sabi? Not trying to say recommendations them the way European Union don't give. Not forget to say right now European Union then they help will pan we bigger we can go bigger. Then get Bokutin. You see them bridge there? Them bridge there. Major of the bridge there across the country, the work that they go so right now. Who that if you say they do them? Now European Union, now then they do them. Yeah? Even for we election, the one them where they try for say let them make we work a fine. European Union, they undid it. So if they come, they can't talk to one person, then commode, then go to the other person, then commode. Okay. Then come out to the President. Status. Tell we waiting they feel say they need for report. Alright? I don't know if them be get another agenda for making themselves call press briefing. Make them tell we exactly the worker waiting at this follow-up mission. Worker. Maybe them feel say if na status on a former President Koroma where himself report almost the same thing where status report. They feel say, you know what thing? No, law can do. Law can tell the people them exactly this worker waiting the inside am. And today, I want for run through quick waiting the election follow-up mission na Sierra Leone from European Union wants me and you for no. They say the purpose of the EU election follow-up mission now for undertake a technical assessment of the state of implementation of the 29 recommendations where the EU election observer mission be make Ustem 2018. 2018, they make 29 recommendations. If you can remember, 2018, after President Bio don't win, waiting the opposition be the worker with. You remember? The APC. Waiting na be the word will be then at the mouth. Then say na EU na engi president be your power. Just in case you forget. That's what they go and talk. Then say, oh, na then wait man, na then sabotage this election. Na then give president be your power. Okay. EU not tell we say na then give power. But then tell we say they make 29 recommendations. Then say then 29 recommendations here. If Salon do am, it go enhance the credibility, the inclusiveness, and the transparency of the 2023 elections. That's what EU tell we. They not say for the forthcoming election. No, then put and say 2023 elections. EU don't remind this administration not to one term, not to two term, where they can go for them gathering. Because you know, say, we get some people where them vuvuzela them, where they na this administration, just like where the previous administration, the APC, where them be go more time. Well, you get the one the way they are, whether they talk about election and they say 20 whatever, or then they say 2024. So you know say forthcoming election, they say 2023. Like I said, they don't remind this administration couple of times for saying that 2023, the timeline. Out of the 29 recommendations put forward inside 2018, they say, this now, I read for you from EU, then you report to. They say 9 of the recommendations here entail constitutional amendments. So, not to no be they talk this, say our constitution, our rights. So, you be telling, say, then get 19 them where they need for fix inside the constitution. 9 per day recommendations here get for do with constitutional amendment. They say, though none of them will need a referendum for enrich the provision, 21 require legal reform. Whereas the remaining go be addressed through administrative policies. They say the need for make them reactivate the constitutional review process, so then be tell them back. I must tell you that Alan I say, do ya? They need for go back to that money where they don't they spend the late man die. The late man die. So now so the money go left. The APC, they don't touch the constitution. They don't do anything again for them. The SLPP, they self don't fix the constitution. They don't do anything again for do they. But the country in constitution, wait for make Salon any kind way, we the citizens them feel like for say we are represented. They not touch them. Before that, then they cherry pick. Then they pick the way better for them. Then they pick a yeah, na so they pick up. Okay. They say the timely disclosure of the white paper is a precondition for an effective, transparent, and accountable process, and for re-engage all stakeholders. They say a clear consensus on boku issues them. They say including the one way then for fixed date for future election. Who stand the election for happen? We need a date. And for fix the date. Because the one that they go and now make some man they go and say 2024, 20 whatever because of corona. So say the previous APC then be push them. And some man say but now November then push on November to February. Some man say no. Then all the man they talking on. You say a date for the next election. Then for don't pull them. Now the task now for turn the discussion into law in time for the election Ustem 2023. We look now at a reward. So then they repeat 2023 for we. Then say the waka where then go waka. They don't tell them say there is a significant decrease in trust in the essential bodies where they play integral role in the forthcoming election. Who da them say they not trust the neck? Who da not trust neck? You not trust neck? Why you not trust neck? Why? Anyway, the mission say na so people and tell them. For say trust no dey. Pan the body them for the way they organize election. Then say these include the judiciary, NEC, PPRC, and the police. If you differ from waiting the follow-up mission find out, they let we know. NEC, judiciary, PPRC, and the police, people say they not trust them. The mission findings, they say the institution here, their reputation are less trusted than is needed. How you no go trust NEC? And NEC need you for trust them so that at the end of the day when they announce results, we all go clap and say it was free and fair. But if we not trust the one we get for can call result, now yeah, I can talk saying Mohamed Kone, the work day before. Sometimes for a leader confused, will be confused that time. May I never forget that confused deal. I confused will be confused that time. Sometimes I be small one. They say where people they don't tell Nande further, then do further assessment. They say is that there are real grounds for concern in the ways in which these bodies have administered recent by-election. Go police! Go police! Not so. And say Christian Atop say go police. This last one where happen. Then calling attention. When Marcela Samba be the talk, when you be the talk, attacker all say man a UPC. We forget say, then people are back, get people them na the ground. Forget that. The recent by-election. It turned number 0 to 1. From what they tell we say then they come out with the NEC, say then they come out with them findings. We'll not see a hit. Okay. There are surely some lessons to be learned from the management of the last by-election. That's what EU say. which can be trailed in the future by elections. They say the election follow-up mission, they encourage NEC for engage with all electoral stakeholders for address their issues then they and for restore confidence in the electoral management bodies and for strengthen both the transparency and the integrity of the electoral process. Are these not fair concerns raised by the follow-up mission? Or people then go say, but our opposition no more be there like this. Also, you see the one way they in charge go, Okay, they're not left on the. EU say, in their assessment, the government has a role in providing both sufficient and timely funding. Sufficient and timely funding. If you not do, then pan tap that safe. You not can get it on time. Something I they neck in chuking aid. Say well, pa, you not can give you the money then they go for she not do safe. The money not do, then waiting again. Don't last minute and they can give you the money. What's in this administration tell we? They don't say they don't open basket for election. They say they don't open basket for election. No. On the one way day before. Not to this one. Not to the small wire. Okay. In their assessment, government get role for provide sufficient and timely funding, but equally important, the political space for the institutions here for demonstrate the neutrality for say una mix and independence, which are absolutely essential for elections being recognized as credible by citizens and observers. Citizens and who? Observers. National Election Watch. What are they? They are observers. Didn't they question the last by-election? Yes, they did. If you not be know. So when people they speak up, when people they challenge things them way wrong, instead of we try for fix them up, we go they call people names. To the extent now, this entire administration don't vest by EU. They vest by EU. Yes, the president, judiciary, El Cassano, in waiting talks of look at the don't come under. The Minister of Information, nobody not glad for EU again. The government don't commit for create a national electoral sustainable trust fund account basket, which if fully implemented, okay, take note of the word if fully implemented, go address one of the recommendations where EU give. If they do am, they talk am, but if they do am, that's what EU say, not to me say. So far, the details of this have not been communicated to NEC and other bodies. We mean to say, the government, remember what they can't tell we, now they sit down param. Where some people they say, something not to true safe, and just talk no more for making them everything safe. But EU now say, it's like if for say when they ask the other one day, all man tell and say, government not tell you. They not tell where they get for do am, But then tell we know who do you say, then you forget a basket fund for election. If an election is declared void, according to section 146(4) of the Public Election Act, another election shall be held. Then say 2019 High Court decision for declare runner-up elected in 10 constituencies eroded. E carry it dirty water business. E carry it some kind of fungus inside the confidence of the neutrality of the judiciary. Na den koto say them parliamentarian they would them been pull. Say police go then drag people in a do. When people like say, Abbas Bundu the way first way they elect and first is wrong. Well, na EU na in the talk na ya. Then say total respect, no matter what, for the rule of law in election petition is needed. If people carry petition, something we get for do with election, total respect is needed to ensure confidence in the electoral process. The petition them. In addition, the delivery of timely, effective resolution of electoral cases in line with the deadline. Justice delay is justice denied. The same applies to democracy. And so EU say. For more next say then they watch waiting that man change from 0 to 1. What then say then they can't. 30 days they no it. Even to last week then tell say then they can. We dey wait. Then talk about waiting. I must think then they don't talk so inside this report. Now another one. The midterm census is unprecedented. The stated reason for midterm census is highly contested. The use of an optional census for provide data which might be used to change electoral boundaries shortly before an election is not conducive to the political atmosphere or good electoral practice. Somebody go say, APC do ami, what you now want for talk? Why make una not be talk waiting where APC do am? Remember, it's the new direction. But the answer will me go give. Yes, APC be do am. But na the old direction, Dandy. So if you want point by the old direction, why take me there? Where you be advertised, you boss ride as the new direction. Okay? That's me talk. I just give you an analogy. Then say the mission repeats, not to one, not to two, not to three. Its recommendation that the voter registration should be automatically produced from the civil register. What you mean they not be done do antrade? Where PC been there? Then you then can sell market to we, They have them be sell where them let people and go register back. Look at they don't come yonder. But at the end of the day, hold on there. Now make them not the day again. But EU say the voter register for March, if you come out inside the civil register, the time we can take for spend money, per voter registration. No, and with civil registration, look and get question mark on the Now I made they tell you say, well, now we do now the civil registration way, then voter registration come out inside civil registration. What in do? It go save money and time. Not when I give them the give you. When see the way they give you, they begin tell you say you go save money and time. Must know. Must know. It look like say you know they spend correct one. Okay? The mission has not seen evidence that sufficient progress has been made on this important issue. Now, so the mission say. We mean to say, then go now. Let me say now, then go na civil registration authority. Then go there. Then go ask them say, but what you don't do? Yeah, we see una be they go around, una do free tongue, una accommodate, una go na the provinces, una do. So what una don't put together? Sometimes they never able provide better thing. Because for me, if them be ask me this question, I go say no, they've done because we see them outside them be they go and do say verification. But since not to go ask them, now themselves go ask or whoever they get the information from, they say the mission has not seen evidence that sufficient progress has been made in this important issue. We say with national civil registration now inside the electoral registration for common. Because we see election one can register and attend they can say register for election. You say now waste of money and time. The mission welcomes that a bill was formally introduced in Parliament this month. That will be October. We get the aim of increasing women's participation in public and political life. However, the consultation process in preparing the draft was lacking. We all know. Do these people consult? Do you remember for this administration don't care? Boku thing them who don't talk about. We then go cancel, we consult. Do they consult? Not to me say. You say the consultation process. Papa you, not for this woman business no more. All tit bra. And they consult. Now make you get the PhD there. They know everything. So they no need for consult who no sabi nothing. And then they fix things up. Okay. The mission shares the hope of many in Sierra Leone that a meaningful consultation process and clear redrafting of the bill will, in combination with the political parties. In combination with who? The political parties. With who? The political parties. Who that talk na EU? Not to me. The political parties' own internal policies result in at least 30% of MPs being women in 2023. EU ne waka first, they no waka without 2023. But not to everything bad. There have been also improvements regarding independent media commission. They say they modify the appointment process for board members who are no longer appointed by the president. Another EU recommendation has been partially implemented. EU na say una hypocrite. Whose part where they left? Why una say partial? Eh? Una the president so say improvement there, but una say na partial. Whose part where left? Una tell we no? Eh? Okay. Let's continue. We furthermore acknowledge the achievement of decriminalizing libel as a vital step ensuring and strengthening freedom of expression in Sierra Leone. Kudos. So, not to say everything bad though. Criminal libel and pull them. Yourself gladdy. This amendment of the Public Order Act addresses fully a recommendation made. You back out they try for kick game pa we sober. Eh? But all what thing they do they can't take say now be talker. Eh? But what the president they talk, they say na something way me promise. So that yeah, the president say if he promise say he go pull the criminal libel law. Whether they talk say president, me promise. Now you say they can't kick game, but we say now they self be recommend them. Okay, you na thank you for recommend. President Bill, thank you, sir. For pull the criminal libel law. Hey, yeah. Who don't see you na them people have their hand? Eh? You say, with all waiting and don't talk so, several issues of concerns then still remain. They say, but there is still time remaining to address many of the issues here. The mission recommends that the powers in the Constitution be exercised with waiting restraint. The powers in the Constitution being exercised with waiting restraint. And in the spirit of democratic compromise, not winner takes it all. Cohesion. Papa you ou country we tu sabi winner takes it all. And we sabi. Eh? Okay. We don't try. Not so. I don't able for make you understand what in EU say. A lot of people say EU talk true. Some people, a lot of people back say, EU, it's like say the APC them go talk for. Okay. Some man say, EU, what them talk not correct. We on President Julius Mada Wuni Bio. It be there at CNN. Now the climate change, now them be they talk about. But then find way chook this one day. Since now this we they talk about, now they go be geek out climate change. I don't know they keep on for another day. But for today, let we hear how the conversation begun at CNN. Eh? Now so it be happen no.
Finally, on another topic, I just want to ask you about the election process in your country. The EU election follow-up mission just released its key findings, and they were damning.
What I read so, and the reporter they say they were damning. Was it? Ida mean? What Ida mean? Hey, continue, ma.
There's massive skepticism over the independence of the National Electoral Commission in Sierra Leone. What are you doing to address that ahead of the 2023 election? And will you ensure that the recommendations made are implemented?
Will you ensure for say the recommendations them 29 now EU say them give them? You ensure say you go implement them? Now that's the question. EU don't talk with they don't talk. Mr. President, what do you get for say about this report? And you go ensure say what they recommend you do let we hear what Mr. President say.
Well, it's unfortunate that the EU made such damning statements, as if you called it.
Well, the president say it's unfortunate. Until now you call him, you the reporter. Now you say it damning. Not to me say, but it's unfortunate for make EU talk that kind of way.
The Electoral Commission is independent.
The NEC independent, says Mr. President. NEC is independent.
It's been staffed long before I got to the office.
The one the way they work in a NEC, they don't they work there long before Mr. President gets in our office. Before we get President Bio, then people here be done they work there.
Few commissioners, the tenure of few commissioners had expired, and of course, there is a process for replacing them.
Okay, few commissioners them. The term where them for work as commissioners them don't expire, but process day. There is a process for replace them. Process them for waiting for replace them. Okay?
They have to be nominated and go to Parliament.
Parliament. President Bill don't go now under the boss. Now they nominate. Una na Parliament. Na una they agree. So, nomination process there. Now make it a process there. In nominate. Then, what's next? Then they go to Parliament for approval. So if you doing work, hey, then waiting. Parliament. Una self do na work correct. Because it's like say, the way EU right, Parliament they name knock up. So they look the fact. But wait, President Bio don't call una name. Yeah? He say una. When don't nominate so una they appoint. Okay. So if they want for blame, who that then go blame? Now they will nominate or they will approve. Alright. Low they go.
And that is what we have done for the most part.
For the most part, now then they don't do. Me president, I nominate, Parliament approve.
They also spoke about the police. The police, we haven't done much about it.
He said they also talk about police. The police, me President Bio, me administration, we not do much about police. We not do much about police. In case you don't know, okay?
Since we received it, since we inherited governance.
From where me can a power. We not do much but police, much we not do. Do ya? Or where EU they can talk, instead be name the different one name for you, why be they read? So the president now they clarify. You not do much about police, so
the same police that was there that they never commented on.
I feel that. The same police where been there. He say, President Bio say, he will not ever comment about them. You know why? Because of the old direction, sir. Eh? You na new direction. Now I make, sir. Now I make you the comment by you. That one in there? No go. You not there against self. You don't know. Yes, Mr. President. Now, you, they not be talk about Dande Trade. Oh. But then begin recommendations. So remember, Mr. President, they give recommendations 29. 29 recommendations na then gisa. And then say, all and tell the outline so even then they not tell we. All and tell the outline so then be done they tell you sir. So I don't know. But anyway, continue, sir.
It's what now they're saying is too partial. Maybe the leadership.
Okay. The president won't forget. He said that now they can't talk say not correct, but maybe the leadership because the president now ain't get to that day now. Now ain't get to that day. Dr. Sovola. Now ain't day. Would that be the day before? Okay, left to you. Let's continue.
I have had to appoint, and they're talking about also the judiciary. We haven't done much about the judiciary.
Yeah? Judiciary. The president say, he not do much, but judiciary. He not do much. But let's check about. Who don't have the Chief Justice now? Now they all the president meet today. The Attorney General. Amos, what this administration don't change by the judiciary. But anyway, the president say he not do much. Police, he say na the police would engam. Now again, neck. What he say? He say, well, maybe for the commissioners them, he nominate parliament. What in parliament they do, they approve. Let's continue, Mr. President.
In terms of personnel change. So it's a pity.
It's a pity. Hey, EU, on a report. It's a pity for we. Yes, we they tell una. It's a pity.
I'm going to engage them.
We president get for engage una. We president get for engage una. This two una do so. Not the great today, not the great tomorrow. It's a pity.
Because these institutions are responsible for credible elections.
That is true. These institutions, they're responsible for credible election na Sierra Leone. And at the back, EU mission safe tell we. Which institutions them will they talk about so? Will they talk about the judiciary, NEC, police, and PPRC? Remember, now they will talk about here.
But we have not tinkered with them in any way to skew any elections in our favor.
We not tukli, we not chuk. We not I go put time, We not do nothing to her for make it be to say at the end of the day, then go give we winning. Who shall not win? That's the words of President Bio.
The opposition will always grumble.
Aye! The opposition. APCO. SLP. Who said SLP? You? Knock you out for that. Aye! Aha! APCO. C4CO. NGCO. Who said the opposition with it? No, come on, remember. Your party, no side. Anyway, the opposition then go always they grumble. Always. Always then they grumble, the opposition. That's what the president say. So sometimes the grumble or the opposition grumble, or sometimes now way then go fend former president, now he tell and so he just believe all waiting former president talk, as opposed to waiting president talk na status, Triboulet left. Mr. President, continue, sir.
About these institutions because these are critical institutions for elections.
These are critical institutions for election. That we all know. You tell we, I like you not tell we self. We know. We know. President Baku Gladi himself, he know. Okay?
And when anybody is afraid of elections, they try to bring the credibility.
Where people and they afraid election, then they try for bring credibility. Not true. Like a constituency 110, who side them broke ballot box. Waiting come out today. Okay. Let's continue. Because I make me be like, Dr. Sandy. Even when they say not for go there or not for go there, he's saying I guess in a eating care go for go serve the police agents them. Waiting again. Let's forget. Yes, waiting here.
Of these institutions to the fore. And that is what they have done. And they've taken it wholesale and just made it a report.
So, President Biose, waiting APC, they go ala. Waiting the opposition, they go ala. Now EU just grab. Then take and make reports. He said now EU grab no more, then take and make report. Okay. But wait too. Anyway, let the president get in time.
So that is unfortunate, but I want to engage the EU.
That is unfortunate. EU with president you go engage una. That's una get for come. Where do engage una done? Do ya? Lawyer Rusa una team up now. Because the president, the thing then we don't kudos to him, una say don't can say na una your recommendation. So no now uda. But anyway, una all thanky. Okay?
All right, Mr. President Julius Bio, we will follow up with you on that in the coming months. Good to have you on the program. Thanks so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome. What's gonna be the initial question? The reports where EU fan is damning. You commit yourself for make sure say you follow the reports for the next election? That was the question. Okay. It left to you. If the questions where the reporter asked, you get an answer. But, now lekebe, you need for put all that in and they will go make it correct. But wait to Tripoli. EU not get embassy in a saloon and then staff. Of course they do. When I come up here Tripoli. Now when I say Tripoli, I interpret Tripoli, una left. I just lay on for you in a table. Let you able understand. I just want to make you understand correct one. Okay? So, just in case you begin to say you bring the mellow and wellow, it will come back to the reformat stage. President Biose, waiting EU talk, waiting I lay a table for you. So, it's a pity and unfortunate. Usman Toli, waiting now you take, sir. Welcome on board.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A, for having me for Can Talk on the topic. The EU follow-up mission at Salone. Before I go into that, let's just make comment quick on the video or the audio we play. I don't say you ask the question, say if the president expects that question, because the entire exercise, the interview, is based on the climate challenges, the summit way they make. I think that's the interview they for. But the possible interview, it managed to squeeze that question there. So it came to unexpected. It just managed to squeeze that question. But I want to make an interesting analogy here, Triple A. He say, their institutions here, the judiciary, the police, they say they not do much about them. They say that they want them with the staff that we been there, no more they're not doing much about them. Then he turned around and say he changed the head of the police. That's interesting. I believe say in any institution, when you change the head, it get big impact on that institution because the head, the influence that institution, they get big influence on that institution. So the fact that it changed the head of the police them, so it means it get big influence on that. And that has always been the case. Where one government come, the other one come, then they try for manage that institution by changing the heads them. We know what think it happen. So I think say that a very interesting one. Also, he talk about the National Electoral Commission. Yeah, when in talk say he follow the due process. We all know what happened with the appointment of the next commissioner, Winner Mohamed Kone. A lot of controversy they surround around that. A lot of controversy. We all know that. So again, I will challenge him on that. Even recently, Triple A, we discussed that in this forum. We appoint the regional NEC chairman for the West, regional electoral commissioner for the Western region. Right? We discussed that now, yeah. And one of the criticisms or one of the concerns they're moving at is that do a consultation process. So, Mr. President, the way they talk, most think say people and they where they follow, people and they where they listen to you, not to you no more. If they talk to other people the way they follow, right? So now the first analogy that now let's dive into some of the issues here. We know say since the introduction of multi-party democracy in our country in 1996, we always get post-election conflict, and the 2018 one, not to exception. We see after the elections, people challenge the elections. We see usai some MPs them a parliament, they remove them. So always after election, we get them post election conflict here. So what think happen? We can get some international bodies them we can come, and as well as national body, then they make a number of recommendations. So now based on their recommendations, I think say now make the European Parliament come see whether the recommendations that they make, then they really follow them, taking into account the recent by-elections that don't take place since after the 2018 elections. Yeah. And also, say the United Nations Development Program, then certainly make a number of recommendations based on 6 clusters. So all their recommendations are there on the floor, and then they watch on them very seriously. But AAA, not only first time this we talk about NTR. We don't talk about NTR over and over on this platform, as well as other media. We don't talk about this. But I mean, the interesting thing here is now the European Union or European Parliament, now they come up with this. So maybe that will help. That could help. Because what in do, we all know, like what you say, AAA, European Union, then they make significant amount of contribution of our country, financially, economically. Yeah, a lot of projects they will make. And also, we know say, then they contribute financially to them. Maybe they will listen to them. Because when they talk, some of NTR, we don't talk, not only first thing is Tripoli, we don't talk about NTR many, many times. They're not listening. But hopefully, this time around, I think, say, because you don't talk about, it will make consultation. So that show sign of promise. That's a positive sign. So we hope, say, he will do as he promised. Now, let's just look at some of the issues then. I think, say, European Parliament raise. And most of the European Parliament recommendations they make, about 29 of them, I think they're all centered around the idea of independence, how independent are our institutions, the credibility of these institutions, the transparency of their institutions, yeah, and also inclusiveness. We look at all the 29 recommendations. It's all clustered around the area where we are called so. And interestingly, these things them now they make the rule of law and then bring democracy a country. Yeah. So we look at all the recommendations. It's about promoting democracy. It's about promoting peace. It's about bringing stability in the country. And then believe say, if they follow the recommendations here, then TIA will return our country. We look at them critically. But very interesting, AAA. As I said, then TIA not thing that we not new. We don't discuss them. One of the interesting one we didn't bring is a constitutional review. How many times we don't discuss about the essence of a constitutional review? Yeah, I think they discussed about that. A lot of things we see they happen in that country. They get some constitutional gaps. But I hope so this time round they will listen to that, let them reactivate this constitutional review. We know see previous government start time, but it not take me nowhere. We hope so this time round they will listen to European Union and then do the needful for let them try for reactivate the constitution. A lot of things that they discuss. We go back to the constitution. Always I'll give an example. You see, some of the appointment them way then they give the president, it undermine with democracy. It undermine the independence of some of them commission here. For example, the appointment of the next commission. And they appoint them, some of the judges them. So it's difficult. Some of them, the constitution needs to be reviewed. It needs to be reviewed. However, people and they still argue that this constitution they will still review them, but if they want bastardize the constitution, they will still tamper with the constitution. Because we see a lot of things them where they happen, where then they bastardize the constitution. The law is there, but then they ignore the law and do what they want for do. And I will give you an example later. Outside the law day, the law is there. I think you read that part, the AAA. Yeah? The law states clearly. See? I think that's section 146.4 of the Public Election Act. It states clearly. See, when they don't void election, yeah? When they don't void election, so then for do another election, for replace the one the way they avoid. So what will happen after the 2018 elections, we see who side the runners up take over. That's a complete violation of the Constitution. So, although we argue against the constitutional amendment review for change most of them TIO they see they happen, it help, but again, then go still turn around and bastardize the Constitution. That now the other arguments we can always make. And one important recommendation one important report from the follow-up mission, yeah, the significant decrease in trust in the essential bodies then. AAA, how many times we don't talk about that now? Yeah, this is not new. But if find way to come out from then important body in the EU. You find where they come out directly from them. So then go here. Yeah? No doubt that NEC, PPRC, judiciary and police. Not long ago I talked about that. I said the independent of the institutions, yeah. We no will ever even for thrive, for move forward. If those institutions, they are not independent, yeah. It's clear about Triple A. Elections the way don't happen. All along we don't blame the police. Yeah? In the presence of the police, now they all the bad things that they happen. Destroy ballot boxes, and it is more than apparent Triple A. Yeah? With the judiciary, with the police, they always stand with the government of the day. These are two of the big institutions in that country day, where they try for destabilize the peace of that country day. Whenever a government they in power, now that government did in the favor. Trust me, Triple A. Yeah? We see all what happen. Then they delay case them unnecessarily in a court. We're not supposed to be. All in the interest of the incumbent, we're not the existing government. That's all it is. Some of the actions the way the judiciary then they take, now in interest of the incumbent, the government of the day. We see in the previous government what happened with the Samsumana saga. We all know, yeah. Then when they go to ECOWAS Parliament, they get a different ruling. So that is to say, the judiciary in our country, it always support the government of the day. The government of the day, now they dictate the actions of the judiciary. That is more than apparent. Not a two-way person for begin the drag go come. We don't see I'm back now this government. Yeah, they go rule say well because this one then you pull them then you replace her with a runner up. No, what is all the constitution say? So that is more than apparent. We see the police them support the government and the way camper elections business. That is government of the day and I mean the support. Simple. There is no doubt about this. We all know that. These are things them way, people and just want deny for the sake of deny or for politics sake. But these are things them way quite clear. We all know that. Whether this government or previous government. And we will continue for hammer on this until we institutions them learn for be independent and therefore be credible. Yeah? Then therefore be transparent. That's the only way we will move that country forward. And another interesting finding, Triple A. Well, I go just buttress the point where I make. Yeah, we all see, for example, I'll give you an example. All the recent by-elections will happen. Where then they deny. Who that one deny? Who that one deny the fact? Where then they talk about NEC? Who that one deny the fact? When they talk about the police, who that one deny? Who that not see what happened at constituency 110? Tell me, right in front of the police, who that they arrest? What happened at Kwanadugu? Who's arrested where they don't make? Who that they deny this? Who that they deny this? For say this or this report, is not genuine, is damning. Nobody know they deny that. These are facts. These are facts. Even Kwanadugu, we see what happened. Where NEC officer, they go manipulate figures then. That's a big mistake. They make them kind of mistakes then they. A big mistake. So then these are all quite clear. And the other thing again, I also agree with EU is that I think Yom Kelabi make this point. It's a lot of recently. I mean, when I say recently, would they see a lot of speculation they come? I think you mentioned that Triple. Yeah. in terms of elections. Yeah, right now they say 2023, then they say 2024, you know. Also in the previous administration, similar thing they go on, time, no time, you know, all incident they're not fine for democracy. So what in the EU recommend, European Parliament they recommend now, yeah. So we get a fixed date for the election. Say at the end of every 5 years, so dates, now you don't forget the elections. So the speculation, the arguments, all this go done. But if we don't get them, say now we constitution say after every 5 years, the first Saturday or the first Sunday of this, you know, now they make election. It's clear. They don't fix. It go there now with books. It go there on a permanent basis. Then all this speculation, argument about this, about that, no will come. I think saying that the European Union they recommend, and that's not happened yet. This is why a lot of argument they go around and they bring tension. You don't notice they bring a lot of tension. So now one of the recommendations that way they make. Overall, AAA, I don't waste the time because these things, I think them we don't discuss now yeah over and over. I mean, a genuine point we agree with the European Union is that they not say the Independent Media Commission. I think it's a fair point. The Independent Media Commission, the board members them before they were appointed by the president, but now they don't modify them, not to the president again. They appoint them. So in other words, you know, we influence the Independent Media Commission. Now, when I decide to what they talk now, yeah, some of their appointment then they not forgive the president. That is why the president don't become so powerful. These institutions are meant to be independent. These institutions are meant to be independent. For example, when you talk about the police, do you know that the vice president, I think nine of the chair board,
Yes,
chair
for the
board
police
person,
board. Nine are the
for the police
chairperson for
board.
the police board, yeah.
Exactly, nine are the chairperson for the police board. So you tell me, how you go expect the police to be independent when an institution is very powerful in that country? Because when you talk about peace, when you talk about, you know, for puts down conflict, now the police. And then the whole thing they start from the police. But when you go make the vice president, yeah, as a chairperson, then you don't spoil the independence of the police. So all NT and I think the way they get for pay attention to. Not for just come with the talk. Yeah, I don't agree with this. The facts are there. The facts are there. They are clear. Nothing we don't discuss over and over. You they see for yourself. So what did they deny for now? Huh? All the appointment, what they see. The man they see on the appoint post, you know, they consult. What he feel for do that they do? Then when they argue, what's the argument for now? AAA. These things are clear. We'll go for be honest to ourselves. And the other good thing again, where they get plus, where I also agree, you know, the criminal libel law will repeal. I think it's a good one. It's a good one. I think we will be on the president. I think that also one of the recommendations there. I think what you may understand AAA. I think she will correct me on that. I think the European Parliament make that recommendation. I also believe the president will make that pledge day. He will make that pledge day. So although European Parliament they make that recommendation, I think also the president make that pledge day. And then they will get kudos for that. But make no mistake, we get a long way for go in terms of democracy, in terms of promoting peace and stability in that country. We get for make we institutions them. And the most important thing, we get for make we institutions them independent, transparent, and credible. Thank you very much, Triple A, and thanks to everybody who did listening.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I want to say thanks to Usman Toli for your submission today. You just joined me? Welcome on board. Today, we will talk about the European election follow-up mission. Na Salone. They don't go fair not. And then pull their own release, their findings. We make the president say he unfortunate and is sorry for make European Union follow-up mission on election say wetin dem say. Well, whose friend, you get the platform, sir. Wetin are you on take?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Triple A, for giving the platform to me, and thanks to Mr. Osman Toli for his contribution, and also thanks to all the sources that we able to get information, and thanks to you a lot for able to bring them up to the platform for let people to know. Regarding the issue of this European Union, them recommendation or waiting them can't give a report or after a follow-up report. We don't talk about actually they come about based on actually the reviews that we don't do recently with some of the bodies they wouldn't get, especially the one that European External Action Service we can get most of the time for able for look a follow up from within European Union that they do because they're in a separate body, but I can override them. But all they can try for look, then they try for look about this deficit in terms of the way people and they look and the way where the government they work and how them they look and how they perceive them. And then waiting at their own chance for let them able access then thing they are based on the ordinary citizen. But because like say there is a lack of accountability, so then look say the government and then can try for encourage in the terms of having a way where they can get discussions, they can bring suggestions, they can bring wisdom forward, but all in the aim of democracy. But they can try for put the democracy in the form of different way. Then look directly this time into the institutions them where they actually look into waiting at democracy and waiting at the people in franchise, then a right for votes, then the people how they will able to go about for go put them right for votes and how they understand for say I get for go put them vote. But that's the reason why the EU can mostly come and can't help the students here. But because these deficits don't they, and then they try for correct in different way. But most times they realize say the most of the act them we can be behind them institutions there, they can need for amend them. So then say I say now especially in Africa, more in developed countries, then finally say let we approach the election process, let we approach this sector. Let we get a dialogue with the vice president. Let we get a dialogue with this. Because when I bring these things, they are waiting to see, they nobody consult, they nobody do. If you go on the Twitter page of the vice president, you will see a time where recently they get meetings. And at that, the mission they would bring. And I mean, there's certain meetings where they will do in the form of a lecture of certain procedures that they want them to do. So the whole of that meeting, they are things that are based on all the small facts they wouldn't gather. Because some people and they say, oh, EU they're not been the consult, or EU they're not been checked. That based on waiting people and doing at the ground. But I believe say there's been get one-to-one talk with some of them officials there, or the people who are the dignitaries, or the one day where they lead win at the government. So, but based on the facts that we don't get up, based on whatever new, then they do it here and so on, then themselves they actually hear what they happen. Then go must interpret. So then find out that there is no credibility in most of the things that I wouldn't go. So they then give a recommendation them, then they make a follow-up, see what we don't say, we are not doing. But it all comes down to what the mortal man and human beings and the leaders them. Because most times the problem where you can find out once somebody is not able to remember what don't happen before, and because of waiting the people and don't do trade, then they avoid for keep that the memory. And if you avoid as a leader for keep anything we don't pass from your memory, so now that memory there of say I dey try to correct what if it don't happen, you lost her. Now the time now one day you see say there is a likelihood say you dey repeat the same mistake. So because of the idea for see, you know they remember what if it don't happen, you they keep a record, you they keep an inventory, and then you they forget and purposefully because of either intentionally or put the purposeful out, or you do them maybe because of either you don't get the know-how. But here now, the people in the time for say the know-how is there from waiting you put together for let you go formulate the policy. And how you formulate that policy there, now that one day you go based on the information where you be don't get, where you not be forget, where you not be actually pull on your mind, see that we don't tell we this strategy, who self be don't see what will happen 2018. Because of this, let we put boundaries them, let we put things them in place, let me put infrastructure in place, and the institutions them we need the infrastructure, yeah, we put them in place. We not go just more we do as the head go lead our infrastructure, we not go work. Just like we in they say, oh well, no, we don't do well, oh, panic police, but you they see it change the police, so in go able for lead. They change somebody at the neck, so in go able for lead. So you the finance say, well, if you want for lead and lead, now the time that training, by the time from 2018, before don't get the committee. In other words, when that committee they now they think say how you go for implement them policy they are, we go change this particular things they are for let go become approved for let people know say I don't do it. So you not change the infrastructure or even the institutional infrastructure where you need, so the police then go get boku motoka because now land say they don't go to Germany from which land is and go get motoka there for car, they don't go check. But you find out that the vehicles movement is done one thing. But some of the areas, you will talk say not a quantity of the police them where they need another place then. Or if they not even need the quantity of police, but some of them there are evidence where they go act on them. But it all comes down to how you engage the citizens them. During the time when they've been doing recommendation there, then engage the citizens, then give them your own concept of waiting they go on and the local authorities. But I don't know how far that one day when they bring them, they be able to take them on board. But not knowing, I will able to say for me own perception, see, they were not done. Because if they be do them thoroughly, they will find out, say, you know, we're gonna say for say, well, they'll not blame we now because we not get the capacity. In other words, if they lean on the capacity of waiting at the infrastructure there, where they say the judiciary, the police, the NEC, and the PPRC. But if you say the capacity where they're not getting because of no vehicles, the number of police, or and not get better judge them, then you go begin to say, well, you get for try that time they went 2018 they come, you set up a body, get an engagement so that you were able for put your own case across where they know can say tomorrow they don't can give you thing for do that you're not able for do them. But because of this democratic deficit, where people are not they able for look, they're able for access particular thing, then you define as now what thing they bring up that democratic. Wouldn't they say democracy maybe? It's like a democracy maybe, and only in a world of a democracy maybe it's gonna happen. Let me get a democracy of we are going for it. We are go-getters. We are the go-getters of democracy, so that we go change the face of politics. We say them will be a role model. We then go they say, oh, look, go pick up idea about democracy, not about other things. Them when our branches and would be far from democracy. Would they go? I admire you how you set up other institutions, but the one way go bring the democracy, let it not be maybe. It's out of the maybe. We are going for it. So that one day will be because of equality. And that equality they will not give. For say we get equality for say we bring in people and we get for need for do this. We not look for gender. We not look for this. Some of the things and they see that they push them. But how then they reflect to that democracy? We then said we're able to play a role in doing it? That's not the question some people then can ask. And most of the spectators, them, most of the one who they see them, they do the auditing, then they ask them question. But here comes to where the act of the audit or the auditors then get for review them. The act of the election process, then get for review those areas wherein they go no say gap no go there. How I go elect this person here, I go left that area this. Because some of the policies are soft policies, like I always say, when they can easy for be amended. You not go need a lot of infrastructure. The infrastructure will come out later on where you go the buffer and as they go on. But most times the planning and development and how you go review them in there, you can always fail when you try for can implement them. But when you implement them without a review and you don't get a planning process, you know they look at, you know they scan things and possibly just scan around so that we're able to see the one day we are able I put them one side, the one day we need this, I put them one side and I turn to them back then give. But if you bring the receive, then you are aware, see there is a process going on with money they can inside, then people like they do this, and then you they wait until the point where they come for cancer, then they not do this. Then you find out say you create a restless situation wherein they now for the try for say things when sometimes that state the way you did go see something, you don't go to the state wherein you don't remember what thing be don't happen. You don't remember what you be don't say. You don't remember what you even they try for do. All they remember now not just the basic. So it is that they the message not the flow. Then the onlookers then can always say, like say, and they say, oh, this man is not consistent from what he is saying because he don't come. I have amended the I don't change. When you go process the process who they apply for the judiciary, now new one and now well recognized one. But if the EU where then they give you the recommendation, then you don't do the orders them, you don't pass the bills, and those bills them now bills them way basically now soft policies. The only thing we get for make a hard now when una get for come begin they put her into gazetting. Then the one that way now the hard policies where you get for put infrastructure will say I get for build the number of the police them, the amount of them, or why they go buy vehicle. This now the one way you get for say I go get for put in place. But in putting it in place, that not one thing. But if the institution not still they do what they do, the vehicles will still just be flying up and down. Then the people and when they carry the job, who they get for go apply onto the people and for see, then why would they apply justice to them? Would they give them their own right? Then would they bring things into table when they get for can review so that we were able to give recommendation say that president look am so now let's hear we don't find out now so and so get for can help people. But if they infrastructure they come, then you go get boku vehicles just for load people up and down, then you go rush for even the recruit people them, and then that recruitment where you rush you go find out say they get a good vetting process, then you begin to complain out say oh they don't go elect somebody whether this member or the citizens they say no go get the service because the police will go employ they can't deliver the job because now rush for let go build up infrastructure. But it all comes to area of management, how they go able for involve the citizen and how they go able for do things when the country go able for go before because the engagement of the stakeholders in that area the police the other people how they go able give them platform for let them go able to talk, then they accept them, and then even the opposition the opposition parties you can for give them a platform wherein they get for act. But I believe say it all come down to let the leaders and try for the accept waiting they feel say it not go bring anything where go bring a doubt. Anything where go bring something for say, they avoid for that go repeat something way wrong, a wrong practice. And when you avoid a repeating of a wrong practice, now because of you able forget a good memory where you don't keep, then you condemn the acts and what they be done there. Then you they try for say, let we go before, let we go get a direction we able for go. But in placement of anything there, now that agenda we get for put first in place. Because you put the agenda first in place, then say who that get for take the lead of that agenda, they make her get for the follow up, better they receive message back from her. But if they get all those things, you just they let go, thinking that then they happen. Then when it don't happen now, they blame say, well, this teacher you not even do them well. Then they see say you become like a kind of like it generates plenty things. In other words, instead of it do a democracy, like a demonstration of it's not crazy, but I will use the word crazy here, not in the form of madness, now in the form of doing things in that jiggy way, in that scatter way, they put them together. So instead of democracy, they demonstrate craziness in terms of institutional building because you left them for go. So but all this, I believe, say the leaders then get for look how then we evaluate process and how then go for the plan things. Let not say that the good thing no more would they accept. People like can evaluate who acclaim them, say who they don't do well. But when they show you fault, will they find excuses them. But that not get for help. For let will get some people a procedure the right. Let the procedure the way they do, let them be rightful. And the rightful in the correct way. And then the people and get rights over that procedure back. Then you legitimate rights. So that one day that me will advise we then go able to see because the World Justice Report in our favor we. In our favor we. And they all European people they look so because of them they put down between 0 and 1. Just 0 and 1. They let even go far. If you see no score now 0 you did. When you score well, you get the 1. And then the World Justice Report. So all that thing that they can put it in place. It can help una self when they go ask for something. It help una in terms of people who they can't invest. It help quite a lot. You deviate from other repeating ideas them we not good and change and go a better direction. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. And I only hope say then go able to forget that significant trust where other organizations them, donors them, or foreign bodies, or even anything we them do, it go day to their own advantage in terms of significant trust, then go build them. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. And I only hope say the leaders them will take on board so that we country go able for go before. There are many things we then get for put on a table. There are many recipes who don't come. But how then we put on a table for let them go cook good plazas for we let we go eat. But not to just for say no more, we put the one pass mark or one no day when we get the recipe, we they don't give it. They have given us the recipe. We self sabi the recipe, but we no forget them because we rush for cook time by time, steadily, so we're able for eat good, nourishing food. Thank you very much. Let God continue for help with us, and thank you very much for the help we do for let you bring Mama Salon closer to we at the diaspora. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you very much, your friend.
You're welcome, yes, sir.
You just joined me? Welcome on board. EU report is unfortunate, says President Bio. 22 regions, you get a platform, sir.
Yeah, Abraham, thanks for having me and Kusha and Kabo family. I feel say, I mean, the government or the SLPP government or the current government no need for feel offended. It's good. You understand? We need to have checks and balance. If we can have an international organization, we go serve us. I mean, we go play that role. We go create that checks and balance. I feel say they need for take them serious. The reason why they need for take them serious because everybody where you ask a few people on the ground is just praise singing and everything. I mean, it's difficult for make them see people them views as I mean something we therefore take serious because everybody will contribute, especially when you're in a Sierra Leone, they think you probably they talk from a different angle or probably you in opposition or this or that. But if you get a neutral body or a separate body or independent body where probably, I mean, they are not Sierra Leoneans, they're independent. I mean, international organization like the EU, and give out them their opinion. I mean, it's just like creating that checks and balance. This should not be anything we then need for feel offended. It's just an opportunity wherein, I mean, they have to look back and say, yes, we cannot get everything 100%. You understand? Then definitely there must be some pitfalls, there must be some challenges, and go back to the drawing board and start see how they can for address some of those things. Because some of those little things, them we don't happen when are bad things, then we mitigate against them. Those are the things that we're in the reference right now. And subsequently, we get for the get by elections, them where they go on. And if that trend then they continue, those things are red flag. That I mean, we then to look at say if then little elections here where they happen, then by election they happen, how the big election would be. You understand? So it definitely therefore creates that kind of concern. And mind you, we economy most times by them is driven by donors. I would say probably 60 or whatever, because we don't want to think outside the box and able for become more independent and able for generate we own revenue internally. We just able by international whatever we receive this, we receive this, we receive this. That's why most times we have all these challenges that happen. And most times they said who pays the piper dictates the tune. So if European Union, you understand, they come in. They therefore understand. Say these people have been taking care of. Certain things that they've been contributing a lot to Sierra Leone economy, and they cannot sit back and see certain things the way they happen. You understand? And these are the things that way. Things that way may cause we for go into the way may cause the rebel war in 1991 to 2001. You understand? These are indicators. These are this you they see those things. So if they don't go see them something happen, because anything happen at Salon, it they destabilize not only Sierra Leone, they destabilize the region as well. So then just therefore take them good hearts, you understand, and see how they can able to correct things. If they do the right things, there's no way you can campaign again. The people of Sierra Leone, I can always say this on this platform. The people of Sierra Leone, they've gone through a lot. People don't suffer, war come, people don't die, Ebola come, people do not die, disaster don't happen, people do not die. The same Sierra Leone, they need a better life. They need a better environment. We cannot say the government of the day for provide jobs for everybody. But there are certain things or certain indicators, certain things that we get for be present where they give that confidence. So even international investors, even local investors, even people that for say, yes, I can invest and sure say I will recoup my investment in 5 years. I can invest and no say after a few years I will make profits. You understand? But if you see certain things they're not available, they're missing link, they cannot, when they give you the confidence, you understand? Definitely, it's worrisome. So if European Union they come in and talk some of them things here, for we, as you say, they just have to look at it and say yes. It's like auditors giving their views. Say, okay, these are the things that we'll find out. Say there are lapses on this side, there are lapses on this side. These are things that we will say you're not able for control. These are controllable things. These are things they can iron out. These are things they can reference. Because mind you, I can always say this. These people that are waiting at the country, then they will know we country, then they salon. Then they buy newspaper every day. They have people that waiting, then they read, then they listen to news, then they follow up. Not for saying that in the way in isolation, they sit down, they imagine those things. They have representatives. They have international or other embassies. These people network. They network a lot beyond we imagination. They know the little things that will happen. They know the good things that will happen. They know the bad things them. They know the lapses. They know side and when an opportunity we can work on and then for develop. Let them go back and look at some of those things the way the highlights, the European Union highlights, and work on those things. They still have time. They still have time to work on those things. You understand? But make them not look at like say you're unfortunate. It's like some of you go to a doctor and the doctor diagnose you and tells you this is not the problem where you get, you lay downplay and say, oh no. Then when the situation gets worse tomorrow, you then at a point of death, now they tell you what to acknowledge, say, oh yes, they may diagnose me of this, and I'm not take make serious, and I don't get to a point where it cannot be cured anymore or any longer. So make them take it to good faith. Certain things, yes, they're doing well. But certain things that we really, really need urgency. But if we say they have to put their foot down on the ground. You understand? Like the police, for example. Just like the president, they say they've not done much for the police. But if we say they've done much, because everything the police they do now for impress them. Everything where because we they see, we are not have to call names, but we they see say the allegiance of the police is always to the government in power. You understand? So let them take this into good faith. It's like auditors or external auditors. Let them take European Union as an external auditor now. We can forgive the independent or fair view about what is happening on the ground. And then let them do their assignments. Let them do their assignments. That's all it takes. Let them not feel hot, feel waiting and call. The people of Sierra Leone need more. The people of Sierra Leone don't suffer too long. Look at the rates at which young people then they die. The rates at which poor medical condition, health condition or the. I can always they feel sad when I come on this medium. They talk about people that way that people that want to know where I work with or go college we die. One young friend when we all work together, we all go college, Sir Joseph. Very promising guy. You go Jala, we all do everything. This together, we all work together. Young guy, promising guy, but medical condition very poor. They have to flew him to Ghana. We not get basic things then a salon. By the time you go get money, the fly go out for go take care of yourself. The sickness don't go far. Then when you talk, people then say, oh, now position and this. No, the common things then get for day. If the present, the take a lot of things away for make people them. They will for overcome, then challenges. They wouldn't expect government for create jobs. So people get jobs. But the environment, not secure. Even the people in the diaspora, somehow want go, but then get certain sicknesses. But the facilities are not there in a salon for take care of them. Just because we medical condition very questionable. So those are the things they have to look at, not for everybody will raise eyebrow or raise concern or talk about this. There's all this na IPC, this na NGC, this na C4C, this na the one they this gone to, this na the one they were frustrated. No, if they can listen, if they can able to accept some of those advices, some of those things people are saying into good faith and work on them and make sure say they improve on them. We cannot develop Sierra Leone overnight. It will take a process, but you have to see certain structures in place where go tell you say yes, gives you that confidence and say the rate at which we are going, there will be light at the end of the tunnel. You understand? But the pathway we take right now, this new direction, is very, very slow. We're not going to arrive quick. Other people then go don't reach and don't rest and don't eat and all this and don't return back now before we arrive. And time and economic resource. When we go get investor for camp, when we not create the platform, when we not get better light system, when we judiciary questionable, when the police not independent, when other things are not there. In the investors, if foreign investors, those are the things that they look at. So they look how fine or beautiful the presentation day, when you go present to them. They look beyond that. How many investments can be protected? If me say when a Solomon go invest, how the judiciary go able to protect me if I fall victim to my somebody want for seize advantage? Those are the things they look at. Not today have often and say, oh no, we do this, we do not lip service. It's beyond that. They have to begin think global. They have to begin think beyond. And I'm here take let them take some of them things that when people are they raise into good faith and work on them. Rather than they make statements and way they feel say like say that alive in the life and them. That I'm here take it, bro. Me, thanks so much for having me, brother.
Thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Want to say thanks to us friend, Usman Toli, and Tony Ture Jones. I seen at the comment section, a lot of people, not even on this program, from where this topic starts, people and they say, oh, we not even need an EU, we get Britain. We not even need EU. When the war been there self trade, na Okroilula them become safe not to be EU, now the British Army na them become. If you the talk say Salon no need EU, I'm sorry to say, you don't understand what they go on. You don't understand. Inside me go tell you say, inside this administration, EU don't do beaucoup thing. Pass the British government way una de ala for right now. Whose benefits we don't get from them? From where Ebola come, we then stop the airways for go salon. Then can again? I tell you now, I just don't say, check all the major bridges them. Then feed the roads them. Even with election, there are a lot of things. When are then the champion are right now as we speak in a salon. So I don't know how we come on with this. Oh, not even need EU safe. I don't think say the one that we know what EU they do na salon. Go even encourage you. Where they get that kind of conversation, they say you don't need EU. I don't think say them go encourage you by that talk day. Because trust me, they need them. They need them. It's rather unfortunate, like We are not following as things evolve in Sierra Leone. We are not following. We quick for begin make comparison. We quick for begin make we not need this, we not need that. We not no. We quick. Like I said, if you talk so, you don't understand. If you talk so, you don't understand. Naimik. But even with the funding for election, EU, they play a great role. Go back, go check, then bridge them. I beg, go back, go check. Then go tell you that who that they behind them bridge them. Go back, yeah? So for now they compare, say, oh, England, but who's England? I beg, do ya? Anyway, I open the phone line. Yeah? You want to be a part of the program? Now your opportunity this now. Eh? Now your opportunity this. 232-78-990-991. Then a WhatsApp. WhatsApp only. 232-78-990-991. If you know how to call WhatsApp, you can call direct. United States or United Kingdom. United States now 1-646-610-3107. Then a United States. United Kingdom now 44-739-803-0402. If you then have Facebook they watch right now, looking at the green section, you go see the numbers, then they scroll there, now the numbers they want then they for call. If you think so, don't do well, in the next 5 minutes, we go close the line. Yes, caller, are you live on here? You name and who the call from, please.
Yeah, Ibrahim from Maryland.
Yes, Ibrahim, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much, brother. Always I pray, let God continue for bless you, give you long life and body. You know, people who they comment and the comment section they talk about the preachers, and people know how the EU they operate. Let me talk to. I mean, now one thing they say, this administration, they take credit from the international community. Then they give question for say when they can get the accolade, they say government is trained because we are responsible government. Why would them people they indict the institution they are, then they vex? Let them put this on politics. Make them left with the major opposition. This is also new thing na salon politics. Always opposition, always they cry because opposition not get no say na salon. Na so the thing on day. Mother Bio, we even as opposition, instead they cry foul. Na so we they cry like how they were they cry right now. So you don't new. But rather unfortunate for what they na CNN, who so they can what they look at last time no see na 98.1. They go talk the EU they report na false, na lie and lie pandit. Instead of them accept them, they work on now, then they go and question the credibility of the EU. If the people have a perception for me that the past now that country, they then say this government or all the institutions they indict, they say they do well. Trust me, they don't get for say who's here people they use or who's people who they go ask, then question them. Why are they questioning people? They need for accept in good faith. They work on our little country in democracy prevail. And this is number again. Thank you very much. May God bless you and God bless Mama Salon.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, caller, ID live on here. Your name and who the call from, please.
Oh, Triple N, me?
Yes, sir. 3 minutes, sir.
Hey, thank you very much, my brother. You know, this is sad. First of all, I want to start with the libel. You know why Mother B talk say na in come up with the libel thing? It's smart. Now we the Sierra Leonean and our brain it play. Because if you remember, all that then recommendation way then people there the gear now, they be the gear to honest by Kroma. So even this police libel, it been there now one of the things that would be the gear honest by Kroma. So in just capture now during your own campaign time, Now he put them as a note. So when time comes, now he put them in own, how they call whatever rubbish they can go with, how they call manifesto. He put them in a manifesto. But nothing me believe the EU, now they recommend that. Even just capture that because at the time he had been an outsider. So he just captured that. So what ten can now for do in your own, you go say, well, even though when you read that, if you not be one doing, no good one. You're right. But now EU, now the force, initiate that. Now law come to the people already opposed. What that guy when have been the spokesman for the judiciary, they don't fire him because now Paul Alcas. Now they talk to them. Who say Alcas come out? Who say Alcas come out? Because if you don't know, you know. Me don't follow for too long. Now all the media of them in that country. Alcas, that about they be the kind na AYV. They look the shoes na foot. The shoes, the head of the shoes they look at. That's how the young man be there.
Yeah, now Moses now be they talk for the judiciary. Moses.
Right. Now all of a sudden Alcas, because now Alcas, it don't push you away. Now they don't get a job. Now don't become the mouthpiece of the judiciary. When Moses will do a good job. Even though when some be the label, but one, now they don't move on a corner. Alcas don't come. Now we go into the constitution. My brother, this constitution, we all don't talk. We even they try for talk to we brother down there, see what thing they go do. The constitution is imperative that this constitution not to handpick what thing they want to. This constitution for be a complete overhaul, change the whole thing. Usman Tolibi, they say something about the constitution, say things and inside the constitution where they even they go against. You know why? Now because of the subsections. Then. Look the argument where them people like to argue. Just Sunday, where Guevara and that guy sit down, what did they do? Look the argument. The people and where all man can talk say the framers of this constitution, they were so smart, they did. Let God make everyone will be sit down for write this constitution. God, please put them all in hell. Then people are not be clean, don't be care about the people of Sierra Leone. Who's anybody apply to them? Now the people are never always say the land book. Anybody in the right frame of mind will go write a constitution like this. One word, they get subsection 5, subsection 2A, one section 2. So what did the two parties they do? When the other one holds subsection A, the other one holds subsection B. What they say, look what the paragraph 1, subsection 1 say. Then the other one say, well, look what the paragraph 1, subsection 2 say. And they'll two get two different meaning. Now who they see? So now that are the reason, Mr. Tully, where they see something in the way they say inside the constitution, then they go against, because the one word, the one explanation get too many subsections inside it. So we need to know which one, not the right one. The election date. My brother, which country they in the world will suffer the most casualty into COVID-19 reach America? Look, show me him. We'll be there in America, we overtake everybody in number of cases and death. But when election can at this country, they postpone them, they move and go anywhere. People that up na line with mask. For let them change election date na this country, something that will be so catastrophic that the world go the condom. Even 9/11, no go stop election day in this country. That's how much they respect the constitution. Now, like Christmas, December 25, it need to ever change. Even if the world come to an end, it need to change. Now that we need now Sierra Leone. APC that they start that. Just a little corona, Ebola, we're not to pandemic. Now epidemic. What did the man do? They move on. Now in the way something they do right now. Now in they watch right now. Now when one of people and they constantly they blow that now they aid. Constantly people and they talk about that. Now in they something they look at right now. They want use corona as an excuse for push and go 24. Just like where Ernest been used down there. So, my brother, this, but the voices then, I listened to the minister this morning. This morning, he been busy. He been in a 98, then he moved go na AYV. In tone of voice, that I can tell you, arrogant guy I know, in tone of voice be mild this time around. You hear the way they call EU? What's that it come? In talk say, then one asks EU, would I give them the information and they let EU give them the name them? Anyways, why you naming them? Right? He said let EU give them the name them of the people and we give them the information. Yeah. Now they say for what? Oh no, we just want to interview them people and maybe they know what they will not know, so we go correct. Oh really? So now them people have for can't tell you how to run the government. Now them people have for tell you say you former minister of transportation broke ballot box. Now constituency 110. Now them people have for can't tell you say we not hire talks them for go harass people in a Konadugu. Now them people and they for can't tell you. You know be the CM. Thank you very much, my brother. Let other people and like
Okay, thank you very much, Umar. Yes, caller, I did live on air. Your name and the side call from, please.
This is not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to say, then two party and I know we ever change our constitution, but I just pray for the poor Sierra Leonean there and the people that with this alone and not wise up yet. I hope they then go open their mind and wise up, But we want to say something to the president. Well, how you go grab for go climate change? Who you depend destroy all the timber in the country? How you go grab go climate change? We don't sell almost that whole place to the Chinese people there. You know, say they destroy the climate in the country itself, sir. I don't understand that. I don't understand the movement the way they do. They take per diem for go on climate change, but you destroy the climate in the country. Make no sense. Then on top of that, if they go sit down back and they ask you the lie. What you lie for? Left for the lie. Not just lie there with the lie. So you can lie in a salon. But we lie international research. They know everything what you don't say, and then they hold you to that. All the institutions in a salon, we all know they don't all destroy them. The police, the soldier, the judiciary, the parliament, they have too much lie. Everything is about lie. I don't know. But the tribal business owner, the country first enough for put forward. When know they see, the salon they go before because of the with the mentality, the thinking what we get. We they think like 2-year-old beginning. What for think for better with country, And I'm even contribution now, bro. Salon is very
thank you very
frustrating,
much,
man.
Mike.
Just frustrating.
All
All right, man.
Yeah. Yes, caller, I did live on air. Your name and the side call from, please.
Right. Yeah. Now, my name Dennis. I call from Australia, Sydney.
You get 3 minutes.
So, yeah, thanks. So, look, I just want to make few clarifications. We, of course, know that we live in a global village or global community wherein we all interdependent. We depend on each other, no matter how small. Salon Day, they look forward to EU with a partnership with them, the Americans, the British, and everyone else, just like we own fellow African countries. But my point here is, I don't know, for the benefit of listeners, we go on know when the EU been conduct this investigation, where the report they come out now, whether it was just immediately after the 2018 elections, we then do this investigation based on experience and based on what happened before, during, and after the election. Because listeners go on know, waiting at the time frame Because we just see report now. We don't know when the investigations were conducted. Okay? My point is not to just like say vindicate the current government. But if listeners don't know when this investigation be carry on, when the report they just come out, because EU not go just do investigation today, the report come out tomorrow. But from some of we own investigations, which I mean understand, the EU be don't do this just after the 2018 elections. When a lesson we go draw on moving forward as we approach 2023 elections. Because we not just keep the listeners in the dark. They need to know when they report here, when they do the investigation. If we not give them the timeline, then we are misleading the public.
Okay, Dennis.
Yes.
You know, say there is a paragraph inside the report. We say there are surely some lessons to be learned from the management of the last by-election.
I know that.
Okay.
I know that.
All right.
But the point here is, listeners out there may not know. Me and you go know. But if we not educate the listeners, say, this investigation, now this year then do all, now yesterday then do all, rather than just giving them that picture as if it is just something that happened yesterday or is currently happening. Let us sensitize the people the appropriate way for inform them as we move towards 2023. That's my take. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dennis.
No worries. Bye.
Yes, caller, you live on here. You name and the call from, please.
Mr. Ezekiel, the call from Oregon.
3 minutes, sir.
Thank you so much, Triple A. First, I want to address the people and way they've been. They say, Lord, forget you, EU, and focus on the UK. First of all, let make it clear, known to them. Say EU now 27 countries. It was 28. Where British don't drop out. Britain don't drop out. It don't left 27. So 27 countries versus one. I don't know what's how they put on an idea there. Now, for just to investigate things before you begin responsive, oh, Lord, no worry about them. Lord, look up to UK. So right there, you for know. Now, 27 countries, now they come up together and give you that voice there. So you better adhere to it. Then I just want to talk, if the president get people away, then they listen. This now me advice to the president. Mr. President, this wall here, it don't small. You yourself know now. It don't really small. Tomorrow, the one that right now wait and they behind you and they say, hey, yeah. Tomorrow, where you know they not power, you they only you know. Any side you go, now you get for answer. So use your own brain and calculate things. If you take it at that place, they now 6 years. Yes, if you win 2023, you see. So calculate this thing and listen. The world don't tight. It don't tight. You want where you left power, you get something where you they look up to and the world respect you. So where then they try for tell you some things that way if for help the people in the country, which is your responsibility actually for let you take care of this Sierra Leone, not to SLPP, not to SLPP you for take care of now Sierra Leone, the people of Sierra Leone. So every time where you want to talk, where they want to squeeze something, you begin make a divide talk. You are working for the people of Sierra Leone. The politicians, the way they talk about, not just few, but you for the look out for all Sierra Leoneans. So when then they say something wrong somewhere, try for fix them. For you, your own good. Be very tight. I mean, if Namina, you are not one way out done as a president, all this studying, you can't get hang out past all the time, past anything else. You're supposed to be time where you for go sit down and enjoy the good thing we don't do in the country. So when they tell you of some of the things that way they go wrong, beware of the one that way then they say, yes, sir, Mr. President, yes, sir. The name not go the international community tomorrow. So this now you for critically think about it and try for fix things where you need for fix for Sierra Leoneans. Sierra Leoneans, not to for SLPP. Not to against APC, not to against opposition. Now, for Sierra Leoneans, please, definitely some things and the way you don't do way it right, and we will continue to applaud you, even for the libel law where you abolish the death penalty. We will continue to praise you on that. Remember, that don't go inside the books now. So for say during your time, now you do them. Why you know we want for look for something where you go really finally fix the power, the structure what we need. The police and the not for day inside you, or total control under your power. Anyone we want to do something right, as long as you and your party feel saying all right, then hammer can down. Not a good thing that day. Hey, tomorrow you self might be an opposition. So Lord, we fix these things where you did it. You now the second time this now we God don't bless you for go back now that top position they for rule that country. They say, oh, I would say probably the third time because the time where you now be vice, you are still up, Then you take up, you hand over, now you are in there again. Oh, leave a legacy now. Big one. That is for fix that constitution and that country. Let the power then the areas that we supposed for the police therefore do things the right way. The court for rule according to the truth and justice way we want at the country with no fear. Please. Una the listen and advise them. Hey, una try for take some steps. That's my own contribution. Thank you so much, Triple A.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The phone line don't close, but I think we'll get to 1 or 2 people in for come with inside. Let me just see. If you don't call, we no worry. We'll call you back here. They call the one them. Or we don't call. Yes, call ID live on here. Your name and who the call from, please.
Yes, my name Bendo. I call from Kansas City.
3 minutes, Bendo.
Okay, I just want to tell you 2020 AAA for the good work way you did do, and we appreciate the closeness way they bring some. Even though within the diaspora, we feel like we contribute to within the happiness salon. But the only thing we want for saying with this whole situation here is, I listened to the interview where the president gets on CNN. They imply say in order to make any changes, now so things can be done, they go. But we ask ourselves, or let he ask himself the question here for say, if not this way things can be done, they go. I mean, is it correct? So if it's not correct with the police, with the judiciary, with the constitution, waiting at the purpose or the main reason where it go call itself new direction, if you go continue with the same way it belong the path. So if we get the EU for come and say, bring this to their attention, me feel that a good time, let it make some changes, let tomorrow bambai, let it not occupy that space, the ask themselves, waiting at it for do different. Now they point out to them. Let it take that advice. And all the one that when the APC, Vuvuzela, SLPP, Vuvuzela, they made it all understand say this now for the betterment of Sierra Leone. Let it better, let it benefit we all. It's a long good now for we all. If it bad, whether you're not APC, SLPP, you just suffer the same way. That's my own contribution, Dandy. And I tell you now, all thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bendo. Okay, I think Bendo now the last caller. Let me just check and make sure I don't miss nobody again. Okay, that's fine. Everybody gets right to your opinion. Nobody not gets monopoly over opinion now. The president himself gets right to your opinion and he don't talk. But for one reason, I feel the question where they ask him may not be answered because then they look for commitment. You need for commit for say yes. The recommendations them way EU don't make, I go do them. But it come with different topic them inside. And I feel to say most of the things them way will not be even no self say EU get 29 me no say we. Me not be no say EU get 29 recommendations. Where then begin this administration. Then come follow up for see how far this recommendation don't go and waiting they happen right now on the ground. And it not look good. It not look good, EU right time. Then the president back turn to EU say, well, the unfortunate too, we will not know they see how they see. They want them always surround the president. I know say a lot of people. Well, the president say get for engage EU. Okay. We dey wait for the engagement. But I think say some of the things them with them right here, Mr. President, not good things, sir. We CSF Naya don't call for the amendment of the constitution. A lot of people don't call for it. So man, like Umar, we say we need an overhaul of the constitution. Not the cherry picking where they go on right now. Criminal libel law, boom, then pull land, boom, then pull land. And so then they do. But the attention we don't get now. If they say, then they call again. For me to talk with you, no one inside the constitution. My oh my. But Mr. President, sir, please go through the recommendations and then 29. Go through them, sir. And commit. And Leone only seen the one the way they talk say we no need EU. The England way they talk for right now. Then say them Brexit they pa give them 2-3 dirty slap. Right now na the UK, if they come again can do a referendum for ask them, say for left the EU or not, trust me, then go say they no one go. Then go say they no one go. I want and they perfect for waiting and the then now they go compare with EU. Yeah, it's like we don't know. But I believe say the one that we didn't near the president then sabi. When they near the president, they sabi. They know what the EU they do. They know, yeah. That last time we do that program here, we then say all the roads them go finish this and that. Now EU. Most of them roads then they. Okay. But yeah. You want the money, you don't want invoice? And they go more now. That kind of relationship they safe. It's not correct. I'll tell you, say, me that, tomorrow me birthday, next tomorrow this, every day you get a story. Because I money no more. And so they can't find you say no come. This and that, they find one thing or the other. How that go tell you say no it's in and now you call self you no go answer. Until we know what be happen with the previous. Now when I tell we will not be know. Now when I tell we say IMF and World Bank lock game for them. But when I can they open the domot. So EU back. And self I believe say we want them not to so. So I don't know how people say EU they dictate. Recommendations not to dictate. If you dey walk out like 1 foot jumpy, they go and leap. Somebody say no, that foot where you eso, you need for putting yourself na ground. Now so you dey walk out one, where you send this one, then you send the other one. Yeah. If we do on that way there, now ain't go correct. He say no. I'm used to jumping. Let me be jumping. If they jump like 1 foot jumpy, they go. No. We love you, sir. If you fail, Saloon fail. If Saloon fail, you no go find your book, sir. I don't know if my name don't reach to you. They don't kill like they laugh so safe, sir. I don't know if my name don't reach to you. Say, you get one guy, Tripoli, na Vuvuzela. No. This platform, sir. Because until right now, you then at Glasgow, so until you relax, you dey listen. You never know. since you know this salon right now, so say you get one time you say, hey, how many people in not Chinabala listen? You never know. Sometimes me name dog you say that boy that day no. Me I want be you paddy. I want make you the car listen ya. The car I say you can go listen at 98.1. Eh? The car I say you can go listen at 98.1 sir. I want let the listen ya because yeah, who they tell you true. Who they tell you true. Me want be you paddy. For make you they listen. Wait till they talk. Because until the one they will surround you, they know they tell you. They know they tell you at all, sir. I just praise this time in the camp. People in the comments say, "Why me other party don't go let me complain to you." When I left, I mean party when I left, there. Okay. But on a more serious note, sir, I know say maybe the interviewer be caught you off guard. But we all want salon in better one. Just like you say, we want salon in better one. We want her. Most of we within the diaspora, we want this salon. We want Didi. But oh yeah, you know, eh? But some of we don't invest back in the country. Some of we don't invest there. Some of we they go the 210 tickets every year. Eh? It's even by force. Yes, this time by force. Me and the president will be party for the listener. The party not to go fair no more. Me I no go fair you. Now for let the listener no more. Like how they listen 98.1. And so want. For the diaspora, you listen no more now. You go get the reality, sir. Okay. We'll go there back tomorrow. For today, and so go left here. We hope say the recommendations will be followed. Eh? The one they sabotage you, look for them, reshuffle them, sir. No, wait, take the team bad off. Because I smell some kind of cabinet reshuffle. Eh? Alright. We'll go there back to my till we meet again. Triple C. Ta-ta.